Hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very happy to bring you our show, Speak of Africa. We are reporting from Washington, D.C., the capital of the free world. If this is the first time you're watching our show, Speak of Africa, please subscribe. Subscribe because you do not want to miss a show. Every week we upload a new video. We want to make sure that you do not miss any of our videos. Okay, if you're a subscriber already, we thank you very much for the confidence you've placed in us. Without you, we'll not really have any viewers. We've noticed that our subscribers are increasing. We are almost getting to the 40,000 mark. I'm sure by the time we air this show, we must have surpassed the 40,000 mark. We say from those humble beginnings, thank you very much, our dear friends, brothers and sisters. There's a lot of news today, but we're really happy too because we've been doing a whole lot of stuff for ourselves. Today is Mother's Day, and we say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers on earth. I said Happy Mother's Day to my own mother, so I want you to also say Happy Mother's Day to your mother, okay? Mothers are very important. Without our mothers, we will not be here. Our mothers gave us life, so we really have to take advantage of Mother's Day to treat them nice. I will not tell you what I did for my mom today, but you should do something also for your mom. Do something special, something memorable, so that your mom can think that, wow, my son or my daughter did something for me to remember the pains I had during childbirth. Okay? Then without further ado, we also are telling you that we're doing a whole lot to make our mothers proud. We are building our clinic. We told you before, we are building Lucille Urgent Care in Towson, Maryland. The work is done. We can even show you the pictures. We had contractors. We designed the place. It used to be a nail salon, but now we've completed the design and development of this space into a salon. Next week, we're going to start furnishing the salon with equipment, okay? And we're going to also start hiring people to work for us. We want to give opportunity to our people. So do not say we did not tell you. We want to hire a lot of our own people to work for this company. And we're going to be giving opportunities to a lot of people in healthcare from our community to improve themselves. So don't say you did not hear it from us, because we want to help our own people. Without further ado, we'll take you straight to our news segment. As usual, we'll start with Ambazonia. What's going on in Ambazonia? Well, we hear that the La République military thugs continue pursuing our people, and our people are not relenting. You can see some of the guys even in Muyuka. I saw one of the restoration fighters. He decided to target the Bamilikes. When the Bamilikes came to the former southern Cameroons, they were running away from the French onslaught in La République du Cameroon. Our people gave them refuge. But today, our people are looking upon the Bamilikes like traitors. They team up with La République to betray our people. And that's causing a whole lot of resentment in southern Cameroons. Okay? In Ambazonia, our people are not happy with the Bamilikes. So take a look at one of the restoration fighters who is threatening the Bamilikes. Watch the video for a minute.
Na me singer, I tell all na the Bamileke people that were Makanga, from Muyoka, Bitalif Quarter, Sansan Quarter, any man pack come out. Because when I come for day, I go burn any man who I meet up and inside Bamileke man he has, and I'll kill anything with me I meet up and for day. Let all Bamileke people them come out. Any man, any civilian when Ambazonia man where they run for Bamileke house may find different house. Because when I meet up him, I not go spare. No so when me I go meet up him today.
Okay, thank you for watching this video. Then yet our people are trying to regroup because they're not really happy with even the Canadian process. So much has been said about the Canadian process, but now our people know that La République is just playing games. They are not ready for any form of negotiation. They just want total surrender of Anglophones. They don't want to negotiate. They don't want to change the form of state. So if there are any Anglophones who are still dreaming about change, they are dreaming, they are smoking something. Then you can even see a white person who even did a video on even that Canadian process that you guys keep talking much about. I keep telling you, regroup and forget about the Canadian process. Watch a video on the Canadian process.
Back to the international actors. The Swiss process was, I would say, on life support for a long time, but then finally declared dead. I think that was early 2020, late 2021 or early 2022. Canada had helped fund that process. And thanks to the advocacy of groups such as Canadians for Peace and Justice in Cameroon, Canadian groups, as well as the fact that Canada has a bilingual model, right? It's flip-flopped there, where the French speakers in Quebec are the minority, but they have a model for autonomy and bilingualism. So Canada held 3 rounds of what were described as pre-talks or pre-negotiation meetings, very quiet, in the fall of 2022, so just last fall, with delegations from both sides. I want to point out that the Cameroon government would not have sent a delegation without the approval of the head of state, President Paul Biya. So the government was participating. These meetings also included an Ambazonia delegation that was pretty broad. As I said, there's a fragmented movement with lots of different groups. This included quite a lot of them. It's very difficult to quantify beyond that, but it was pretty broad. And they talked not only about process, but some substantive issues as well, such as a ceasefire and humanitarian corridors. So this got really quite far, quite a bit farther than the Swiss process had gotten. And I want to mention here that this is kind of typical of peace processes, that it's common to take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then people learn and regroup and figure out things to do differently. Another 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So get ready, because we're going to hear about more of that. So in January of this year, this process went public. And you'll see here, I just took a screenshot of an announcement by the Canadian government, which you can find online. On January 20th, Canada announced it had a mandate to facilitate a peace process. It was January 20th, so wow, huge, huge news. January 21, the Ambazonians announced that they had some problems with the nomenclature used in the Canadian announcement. The Canadians called it the Northwest and Southwest regions instead of the apparently agreed upon language of the former British territory of Southern Cameroons. But nevertheless, they said, we need to do this. We're still in. So who does that leave? The government. On January 23rd, the Cameroon government announced that it had not agreed to any of this. They had not authorized any foreign facilitator or mediator, and the announcement cited the major national dialogue as the process for addressing this conflict. So completely pulled the plug. This was a stunning chain of events. So, and I want to mention another irony here is that the Ambazonians have been lectured a lot by Western experts on the conflict that they need to unify, that they are too fragmented. The government doesn't know who to talk to. They have to unify. And yet here it appears to have been divisions within the Cameroon government, not the Ambazonia side, that seems to have led to the collapse here. So there is something of an irony there. We at Pathfinders for Peace took a trip just last month, late March. And of course, we were very curious to try to understand what had happened here. As we typically do, we met with some government officials. This time, that included 2 officials from the security sector, separate meetings, one from the army, one from the gendarme, as well as meeting with a couple of foreign missions in the capital. We didn't find out exactly the chain of events that led to pulling the plug, but we did learn that that public rollout may have been problematic from the standpoint of the Cameroon government. I want to acknowledge that, I'm not blaming this on the Canadians or on any one group. It was apparently a negotiated procedure for rolling it out publicly. But nevertheless, there were many in government who actually were not officially informed of this process because it was supposed to be secret. And so the first time they heard about it publicly or officially was from a foreign government. And that felt like kind of upstaging the Cameroonian government. So it was weird to them.
Thank you for watching this video. We'll take you straight now to La République. It looks like La République is collapsing. For today, we want to just share pictures of the Maurice Kamto conference. Maurice Kamto was allowed by the regime of Paul Biya to organize a big rally. People came from all over the place. You can see the pictures, you can watch the videos. There are so many. Why did they allow him to come and speak? Well, La République has master politicians. They know that the country is like a balloon. If it gets so pumped up, you need to release a lot of air. If you don't release a lot of air, it will explode. So in order for the country not to explode, sometimes they will allow people like Kamto to come out and speak. They know that, okay, once he comes out, he speaks, he airs out what is in his stomach, then there will be peace. But he cannot do anything. So Kamto is still looking for pathways to A to D. But it looks like the guys are saying, ni A to D. Kamto, you cannot come into A to D. The Betis don't even want him to come to A to D. So Kamto still has this band of followers. You can see that most of these followers are from his tribe, the Bamileke tribe. When you see them, very zealous, they want to take over the country. But the Betis are not ready to give an inch to the Bamilekes in La République du Cameroon. So Kamto remains defiant, hopeful, but is he going to be able to take over from, say, Paul Biya? When we look at the tea leaves, we don't think so. It looks like the Biya regime has different plans for succession. So Kamto is not even one of them. The country is so demoralized. People keep saying, oh, Prince Ojong, you keep saying the country is collapsing. It has not collapsed yet. Well, it is collapsing. You look at the depravity. We can even show you the picture of a truck driver beating a police officer. Why? Because the guys have had it up to here. The police officer is trying to rough handle a truck driver, asking for bribe, just 500 francs. Bribes of 500 francs. That's why the police officer was wrestling with this truck driver, because he did not get 500 francs. So you see how low, how the Biya people can stoop so low just because of 500 francs. Is this not a disgrace? Watch the video of the police officer and the truck driver. Watch the way the truck driver is beating the hell out of this police officer. Take a minute and watch.
Hey, ne touchez rien, ne touchez rien. Ne touchez rien. Ne touchez rien. Ouais, tu montes, tu vas pas là.
Thank you for watching this, but that's just the story of La République. Everything is rotten. Something is rotten in this state. Rotten. So if it's rotten, then at the same time, Kondenge prison, the famous Kondenge prison that you know, it has been housing so many people. So things are just breaking at the seams, okay? Breaking at the seams. We understand that a big wall collapsed. A big wall of this prison collapsed today. And people were talking about it. It looks like a lot of prisoners have escaped. Okay? You look at the squalor. When you look about Kondenge, we have to do another show where we're going to really talk to you about Kondenge. What's happening in Kondenge. It's just like a state within a state. Okay? It's like a country within a country. Okay? That's the way we can tell you Kondenge operates. We're going to take time and introduce a new show where we'll just focus on Kondenge prison. What's going on in there. We'll take you inside Kondenge prison and you'll see what is really happening. The squalor, the barbarism, the homosexuality, everything negative, Sodom and Gomorrah. So that's as much as we can tell you about La République du Cameroon. Next, we'll take you to Congo DRC.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Once again, we've heard stories of mudslides. A lot of people have died in Congo DRC. Over 16 people have lost their lives because of mudslides. Floods and mudslides are becoming rampant in Africa, probably because of a lot of global warming. So it tells us that we have to start paying attention to the causes of global warming. If the rich guys are not really doing enough, we should not be allowing them to come and use our countries to pollute them so that we become victims of global warming. Because that's what is really happening. Next, we take you to Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have the news of Shell's victory over the people of Nigeria. A UK court passed a judgment by saying that Shell is not at fault. But you know, from the days of even Sarawiwa in the Niger Delta and the Bayelsa state area, the people of Shell have been degrading the environment because they are processing oil in this part of the world. And you say they are not responsible? So this is like an outrage when we read about the judgment in the UK. For a judge to say the people who have suffered because of the actions of Shell should not be compensated, we think this is really a very negative experience. From Nigeria now, we want to take you to Senegal. Senegal is really having a whole lot of issues because the country's president, Macky Sall, wants to run for a third term. He doesn't want to leave the office of president. So it's creating a whole lot of tension. There have been protests, and the protests have been deadly. This is not the first time that protests in Senegal have been deadly, but they continue to be deadly. And that's why we're reporting this to you. Next, we take you to South Africa. South Africa is the country of Cyril Ramaphosa. This week, he's really having a lot of issues with the Western powers. He's accused of funneling weapons to Russia so that Russia can use them in Bakhmut. Okay, you know, Bakhmut has become the epicenter of this war in Russia. A lot of people are losing fighters in this war. Ukraine is losing fighters. Russia is losing fighters. At one point, it was like Russia was overrunning Bakhmut. But now Ukraine is better armed. It seems as if they're taking the fight now to Russia, and it looks like Russia is losing Bakhmut. So the Western powers are saying that Vladimir Putin has been receiving weapons from Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa is refusing that he has not been arming Vladimir Putin's people. So the Western powers are really tough on Ramaphosa to do good. He's going to investigate what is happening. But is that good enough? Cyril Ramaphosa should be spending more time helping his country. We don't really know why he decides to meddle in Russia's politics. Russia's politics is not helping South Africa. We understand Russia did a lot as the Soviet Union. They did a lot to help South Africa during its war of liberation. We understand that. But is that why you have to mortgage your company, your country completely? No. Let's look at business. You cannot mortgage a company because you want to satisfy a political friend. No. Countries have interests. Friendship doesn't really matter. Which is why we think Cyril Ramaphosa is not setting a good example by playing games with Russia. He's hurting his own people more. And the South African economy is really in dire straits. Then, of course, can you even believe that in a very developed country that used to have nuclear weapons like South Africa, they are still using pit latrines? They are using pit latrines. And the government is saying that they should ban these latrines, but the pit latrines are still there. So Cyril Ramaphosa should be focusing on getting rid of these pit latrines instead of wasting time playing power politics. The more he does this, it's not good for his people. Next, we'll take you to Sudan.
Have you heard the latest healthcare news? There's been a medical programming breakthrough. Let's go to Ali and Ron for more.
Thanks, Seb. A Good Samaritan is offering Alexia HTC, a new EMR EHR, to doctors for free. Certainly, this free offer will shake things up in the medical software industry. Alexia HTC is a David pitting itself against the Goliaths, Epic, Cerner, and Meditech, which are old and cost too much money. What happens if you figure out how to build a new EMR EHR on the web for pennies on the dollar? You give it away to the suffering physicians for free.
Want to learn more about how these two powerhouse solutions will help you win more business? Schedule a demo below. In just minutes, Alexia HTC can help you access a patient record, enter an order, write a note, prescribe a medication, generate a charge, and create a super bill. Plus, Alexia Care Corporation, the vendor of the new web application, offers full customer service and training support free of charge. Who can beat that?
The war in Sudan rages on. It's been over 5 weeks. The killing goes on. It's a killing field. There's no peace. The various parties went to Saudi Arabia to meet with the Arab League to try to broker for peace. Has peace returned? No. More and more people are fleeing. Some of them are even fleeing to South Sudan. And it's creating a very precarious situation. You understand? The peace in South Sudan is tenable. But with this conflict in Sudan, it may actually affect the stability of the South Sudan region. And that's what a lot of people are afraid about. If this happens, things will really get tough. Finally, we take you to Uganda. In Uganda, it looks like the dictator Yoweri Museveni is trying to sign a crude oil deal with Congo DRC so that they can transport their oil from Uganda to Congo DRC in order to sell it in the international markets. It's a very controversial project and a lot of people are talking about it. We're going to bring you more information next week on this very controversial project. This project reminds me of the Chad-Cameroon pipeline. You remember the last 2 weeks we've been telling you what has been happening behind the scenes? Cameroon made a backroom deal, sold those assets to a foreign vendor, and now it's creating a whole lot of problems. So when we look at all of this stuff, it's really tough when we compare it. So we think we've really come to the end of our show. It's Mother's Day. We wish you happy Mother's Day. But we want to remind you that we have businesses that we're running, and we're encouraging you to look at the businesses we're running. We're setting up Lucille Urgent Care in Towson, Maryland. We're looking for nurses to work, and we're asking you to take this message to your friends. Refer nurses to us, and we're also starting a staffing agency in Silver Spring. We're going to be also needing nurses to work. So join our network and let's make Africa great again. Bye-bye.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.